Hello. So it's been about 3 weeks since my last video, maybe a bit more. How things have changed. I won't go into it too much. Well, I probably will do in a minute. But yeah, I had a house. Life felt fucking good. I had like plans to, basically I had plans to just read and run and get a job. And I got a job which could have, had a great return on investment. Return on investment. It was a sales job, and I lost both of them simply because of this coronavirus thing. Didn't really piss me off at all. It more led me just toward more anxiety. Led me into more anxiety. There's a lot of uncertainty after that, because I don't have a lot of money, a lot of cash, and it's all worked out pretty well as life, seems to happen in life. I guess I'm kind of holding on to the belief that if you just keep chipping away and putting effort in, then somehow or another, a lot of the time anyway, in the long run, you get a net positive. I don't know if I'll have a net positive, but the turn of events has been I no longer have that place, and I no longer have a full-time job or a part-time job. Uber Eats, I'm not even, if that's like last resort. But I've turned to do software development, teaching myself that in hopes of becoming a freelancer, and thus freelancing, being a nomad, potentially, travelling around when this blows over anyway, travelling around the world, perhaps, hopefully at least Southeast Asia after Australia, and just freelancing, hostel to hostel, doing that sort of jazz, which sounds amazing, like 3-4 days on, or every day on, waking up early, working, and then reading, running, exploring, social, whatever. Just it sounds very good. It sounds like there are a lot of positives and not so many negatives in regard to like my personality at the moment. Anyway, I imagine there are drawbacks and uncertainty and lack of job reliability, whatever. But it seems like a net positive for me if I can do it. At the moment, I'm spending hours doing it every day for the last maybe 2 weeks, week and a half, and it's been fucking pretty fun so far. So that's that done. That's my next midterm goal, let's say 3 months. We'll see. What else? I've just finished a run. I've been running this 5k. Today was 6k, or probably just under, because of Strava's lack of accuracy, or my phone's lack of accuracy, should I say, GPS. I've done a 6k run the last 4 or 5 days. I've been doing last 4 days, I'd say. I've been doing a 5k run each day. Feels fucking good. Today I got 4 minutes 20 per kilometre for 6 kilometres, which I think is too generous, as I say, due to my phone's lack of accurate tracking. So it's probably a bit less than that, but still a good speed, and I felt pretty good. Recently I've become more aware that I actually have a sense of anxiety, which I carry around with me quite a lot of the time, and personally I believe that just is a symptom of existential uncertainty. That's it. I think once I'm back on track and I have a goal and I'm working toward it, and I'm actually feeling like, oh shit, this is definitely what I want, and there's a bit of an end point, and I get some money under my belt. I'm sitting on some money, that's what I meant to say, kind of a mix between those two expressions. So once I'm sitting on some money, then I perhaps will gain a greater sense of certainty, of assertiveness, etc. I notice it pervades my everyday interactions to some extent. Some interactions more than others, but generally there's a sense of anxiety. Like when I finish this run, it's the fastest I've ever run, 6k, I've never really ever ran 6k, maybe once or twice, never at this speed, certainly never under 5 kilometers, 5 minutes per kilometer. And I sat down and I felt a sense of anxiety. It felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be. That's all I can describe it as. I had to remind myself that I'm working toward it. I felt like my body isn't where I want it to be, that I could have ran longer, that I should be running longer perhaps, but mainly that my physique isn't where I want it to be. I've had this before, I believe, and I believe the result of it has been a plunge in habits, plunge in positive habits, and by that I mean I will do fitness. Happened last year, and then the stress of exams got to me and I just blew. I went from waking up early, jogging to the gym, being at the gym, finishing that, getting home for like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, 2k jog, there and back to the gym, plus, and then a good workout. And I went from that to just like sleeping in, eating pretty much a box of cereal a night, going to 4 or 5 different mini marts, corner shops, convenience stores to get chocolate. I just went off the rails. So I need to make sure I'm balancing out shit and not expecting too much of myself, because I can just seesaw, from one extreme to the other. So far it's going well. One of the reasons I think it's going well is because I don't have a lot of pressure on my life at the moment. Now, I could segue into the coronavirus, which I probably will do. So I'd like to say a bit on that. Hopefully a bit more of a controversial opinion. I say hopefully just because the general notion is just boring, I think. Stay home. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have a lot of pressure on my life. I have essentially 2 to 3 months left in my savings, and by savings I mean everything I have in my bank account. Max 2 to 3 months, probably 3 max. Then I might be able to get a loan. Probably will be able to get a loan from Dad and pay him back when I make money. So I'm not really too worried about that. The way I'm going with my programming, I think I should have something of a portfolio within 2 months. So yeah, I'm not too saddened, anxious about that. I'm living in a house with some decent people. So yeah, I've got a sense of stability. So I've actually got mental energy to focus on things which are valuable, such as eating well. I don't have a lot of anxiety throughout the day, so I'm not really overeating. I'm not buying stuff which is tempting me to overeat. I'm now fasting, so I can just cut off my consumption of calories when I decide it's time to stop. So like last night I got off chocolate. Nico was like, say, oh no, just stay and watch this movie. And I just said no. Sydney nicely said, I'll just leave him, which was nice, because I shut him up. So yeah, it's nice because I can just kind of say no and mean no to myself a bit more. Anyway, coronavirus, cool, fun, yay, 9 minutes in. We're getting on to something a bit meatier, I guess. I think it's all a bit over the top. I don't think it's a massive conspiracy. I think it exists. I don't think the government made it, whatever. I believe it probably did start in that fish market, animal market in Hubei, Wuhan, whatever. But I just think the international, societal, governmental reaction is unprecedented. Is that the word? Unprecedented? Unnecessary, exaggerated, maybe a bit too completely reactionary. Of course it's reactionary, no shit, but, well, not no shit, it could be some, whatever you call it, preventative, what's it called? I don't know what the fucking word is, 1 minute. Okay, I don't know the fucking word. It's like we take a precaution and it's like, oh, something bad happens, but I've already got these in place, this mitigation strategy in place to counter it. Anyway, so yeah, it seems to be reactionary. That is probably an accurate word. you know, stay indoors, everyone going around with masks on, people saying, oh, if you're using this facility, then you're harming the lives of others. I had a family member who was assaulted, only over social media, but just basically saying, like, stop being selfish for using the spa or something on a holiday site. This was like 2-3 weeks ago as well, and it's just like, what? People just go panic. I spoke to a friend last night, and I'm going to reiterate what he said to some extent, mingled in with my opinion, which was basically that people just hit panic mode. They just want certainty from above, and by above I mean like the government, their social structure. They just want certainty, and they just go in absolute panic mode. Yeah, because their day-to-day routine is just affected. They generally, there's a shit ton of conformity, and yeah, physical conformity, but like mental conformity, just groups. I'm sorry for being Orwellian here, but like groupthink, it really is. It's fucking nuts. It really is. Everyone just going around with masks, and I watched a White Boy 7th Street, fucking old COD YouTuber, Call of Duty YouTuber, who was saying like, he had this massive respirator on and saying like, you know, well, it's selfish if you're not wearing one of those going to the store. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's just fucking nuts. I mean, I heard Sweden, I don't know, I just saw an article, it's probably bullshit, but let's just take it as a given, let's just take it as a fact for this instance, for this example. Sweden wasn't doing much in terms of its measures, in much of its regulations, and it's not having a load of deaths and infections. Contagion isn't mass spread there, and they're not doing much. So we don't know, and you could say, well, it's better to be safe than sorry, and maybe, but I don't really think so, because this I'm not saying it isn't an excuse for governments to further the amount of societal control, because it could be, that could be like a subconscious, or right at the top it could be a conscious motive, you know. I don't know, I just don't agree with the amount of regulations and the mass hysteria. I'd really need to flesh this out and talk about it, but yeah, I just think it's a bit over the top. Anything else? Not really, I don't think. My goals now is just keep fucking jogging. I guess I could do a bit of a reflection of the past couple of weeks or whatever. So I had 2 days where I was pretty damn down, and that was because of a third strike rejection, a girl in the hostel, and that just left me feeling a bit low self-esteem, which is a reflection on my sense of self-worth, where I derive it from, and possibly one of the reasons I'm jogging so much is because I'm making myself feel good, and not deriving that sense of fulfillment from others, which is completely unreliable, unpredictable, transitory, etc. Insert fancy word here. So yeah, I'm just doing that, and it's possible for me to do this because I'm grateful, I'm fortunate enough to be in a good environment. I am pretty fortunate to be in a hostel with one person who actually fucking pushes me. Somehow, Nico, he's fitter than I am, definitely, and by fitter I mean like physically, no, I mean like in terms of stamina and shit, but also aesthetically, he's much more attractive than I am. He's older than I am. He's much more learned in software development, and that's what he does for a job, freelancing. So it's nice to have some inspiration there, and to see someone who's actually done it and is doing this thing that I would like to do. It's really nice to be in an environment with someone like that, someone with whom I can speak philosophically and talk about psychology and stuff. So yeah, shared interests is good shit, they're good people. Yeah, so a bit of anxiety over the last few weeks, but recently it's been picking up, and the main factors of its picking up have simply been primarily my eating has been better. So it's now 12 pretty much, and I'm going to go back, finish off eating, program, probably finish the book Twilight of the Idols. So I've got like 4 pages left of that book, which has been fantastic actually, and I've actually been studying it and taking notes, and yeah, that's about it. I'm not really wasting much time. It's quite good, positive, because a lot of people in the hostel do seem to be wasting a bit of time, because some people are working, actually, some people are definitely working, but there are people who are just watching comedy throughout the day, spend a lot of time in their rooms. Even the people who are working, they come back, a couple of people, I don't know, it feels good to be a bit ahead of the game, because I'm not really wasting too many hours of each day. I'm not bothered about going and doing Uber Eats, because I feel that my time is better employed actually when I'm on my own and reading or writing or programming. It feels more fulfilling. So yeah, money really isn't, I don't really care if I end up with, you know, $3,000 is just gone in 3 months. I'm just going to go, oh, that's inconvenient. Dad, can you please lend me some money? Fortunately, my dad has enough money to lend me, I believe, I hope, and I'll be able to go, okay, I'll pay it back. And if he gives me 20, well, he won't give me 20 grand. He's never, you know, if he gives me a grand or if he gives me 20 grand, I'm just using it as an example. It doesn't really matter too much to me. Although the 1 grand wouldn't really get me very far. What I'm saying is money isn't massive. Money's like an inconvenience that I just need so I can continue living. It would be nice to get better material things. You know, a bike would be nice, a proper road bike would be nice, and that's about it. Eventually maybe a new laptop. The one I've got is fucking dope. So yeah, but I've still used money to get that. So yes, money is an essential, a necessity, but it's not a driving force really. It's just like an inconvenience that I need to do things I want to do. I'm not going to get into that, because that's what it probably is for most people, but yeah, that's it. That's a really fucking long rant. Catch up. Bye bye.